What's going on? What time do you call this? I've been waiting down the back here. I now know what it feels like to be a dog. I've just been sitting there quietly. I can't understand what she's saying. I'm just waiting for my name. So that is what it feels like to be a dog. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming back. That's really nice of you. And what a fantastic event the guys have put on, really fantastic. So it's really an honor to be here. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit this afternoon about disruption. I'm talking to you about the future of retail, really, which... Is there anyone out there in retail or in brands or anything? Could be a bit tricky this afternoon. Anyway, we'll kind of get there. Look, I thought I'd start with my problems. I'll share my problems with you. This is my sort of list of worries, and I know you all have similar things. This is what your customers have. Right? This is what everyone has. This isn't just retailers. This isn't just customers. It's what we call human beings have the same worries. Climate change. That means that when it's a really lovely day, like we had in the UK in February, we have to feel guilty about it. We can't relax and have a nice day anymore. We've got terrorism. Do you think terrorism's going to get better or worse? I'm afraid I'm cheering you up on it. I've just been to Daniel Pink's talk, and this is the trough in the afternoon. So welcome to the trough. Migration, there's big discussion about migration, a serious issue. We don't know whether it's good or bad. That's how difficult the discussion is. And then we have, social media, the arrival of social media and what it means. I mean, one level, we're worried that our children are addicted. They're all just staring at the phone all day long and meal time. Shut up, I'm not... That's what everyone's doing. But there's the whole issue of bullying and all of that sort of stuff. Not least, can I say, it's not surprising, is it? Because we're giving our 8-year-olds the ability to be global publishers. That's true. It's hilarious if you think about it. Now you're 9, dear. It's time for your first mobile phone. There you go. Publish all your stupid thoughts to the rest of the planet. I mean, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. It's significant stuff. And in terms of retail, we've got the worries about drone deliveries, which is one thing. The one that's really worrying, just to scare you all, is drone surveillance. What, you think that's not coming? Hanging outside your bedroom window, watching every movement, listening in on everything. Superbugs, we already mentioned that earlier this afternoon. You cannot open the paper without seeing that we're all going to die from some terrible thing we've never heard of every single day. And then, dare I say, politics. Can I actually even say, that's my symbol for politics. Global politics is in total disarray. No one knows what's good or bad anymore. I mean, it's funny. Trends are funny. It's global. So incredibly significant new landscape for all of you, for all us humans. Robotics. A recent government report from McKinsey, actually. McKinsey did a report for the government in the UK, and they predict that 800 million jobs will be lost by 2030. 2030 sounds like a long way off, doesn't it? It's 10 years. This is 800 million. Have I cheered you up yet? And it goes on, and I could go on and on. Sustainability. I put it as one little symbol, but that's the thing that could come crashing down on all your businesses. Suddenly, social media decides you're not sustainable. You're not playing by the rules. And it can collapse overnight. And we've got the aging population, and pollution, and populism, and health, and gender equality, and it goes on, deforestation, and it goes on, and this is what we wake up to every morning. That one's plastics, that last one, the plastics. And what was that one? Oh, I don't know, urbanization. The question is, I need a drink of water. You like guys are wearing me out waiting back there. The question is there one thing that could really sum up this new era we're living in, this era of disruption? I love this picture. This is just art, isn't it? It's art. This is 21st century art. Kim Kardashian in the white. I love this picture. I want to frame it. So I'll kind of make myself clear. Things have got so bad that our cleverest people on planet Earth, our top entrepreneurs, are talking about moving to Mars. This is true, okay? Now look, just bring it back to brands and retail a little bit. I do a little bit of research. I'm not a big guy for stats, but I do a little bit of research, and I noticed that, because I'm on YouTube doing stuff, and I noticed that L'Oreal, fantastic company, amazing. I did a thing for them once, huge. They took over the whole of Istanbul, fantastic company. They had 55,000 followers on YouTube. I mean, it's brilliant. I think, wow, if only I could have half that many. It's true. I mean, it's amazing. James Charles, on the other hand, who is a transvestite, I think I'm allowed to say that, but whatever, take me to prison, transvestite makeup artist, has 14 million! Sorry, did I wake you up? 14 million, this little guy in his bedroom, making his face up. And if you have, listen, I don't know about your demographics, I don't exactly, but right across the Western world, I can promise you, there are kids in bedrooms, basically, little 9-year-old, if your 9-year-old daughter's missing a lot, I dare, creep in on her, but I tell you what, you won't be surprised, it'll be James Charles, I promise you. Incredible how things are turning around. So, look, retail's in trouble, we all know that. I could give you this huge list, but it's more important than that, actually, because it's not just retailers that are in trouble, it's icons. Icons of Macy's. Macy's is New York. Macy's is Christmas. For God's sake, Macy's. And they're shutting 100 stores. This is what we get. And they're not wishing to be left out. Marks and Spencer's. You know Marks and Spencer's. Marks and Spencer's, they're shutting 150 stores. And then our little island, our tiny little thing called England, that little place, 150 stores, devastating towns. And this is important because Marks and Spencer's isn't just a shop. It's mummy. It's mummy. She's really good at cooking, not so fashionable. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know the stuff. So look, it seems like the only thing that's happening in retail that's really moving forward are, the Amazon model where you can just go in and steal what you want. I mean, and take, you just wander in, take what you want. Fantastic. They're going places. Look, serious point though, serious point. If you talk about disruption, there is nothing that potentially could be more disruptive than voice. Sorry. I thought I was on my own there. Voice is an incredible thing. We watched Orwell, 1984, and we're terrified of, government watching us. We've voluntarily brought this thing into all our homes, listening to us, permanently listening to everything we're doing. So we can ask it anything. It's brilliant. But this little device is listening in on all of you. So this is the future, not just in terms of getting hold of stuff. Yes, you can order whatever you have. Alexa, can I have some? Yes, of course you can, and she will bring it to you. But it's more important than that. She's listening in to everything you do. She knows your routine. She knows how tall you are. She knows your skin type. She is listening and learning right now. You want to go home and smash it, don't you? But Alexa is it's gathering all that data. I'm laughing on my own. It's kind of scary. And we've willed that into our home. What does that mean? Well, it means that when you're watching the content, because, that's the thing now, isn't it? Amazon, they're producing content. We're watching the demise of terrestrial channels and the rise of the Netflix and the stream and the Amazons. They're producing content and they're listening to all of you, which means ultimately everything that you do will be they'll be selling the content to you. Let me be blunt about it. So if you ask for, can I have some new face cream or whatever, she already knows your skin type, obviously. But the content you're watching will be able to suck you in and seduce you to buy things that perhaps you'd not thought of. Holidays, whatever. She understands your behavior, understands all your preferences, and she will deliver stuff. So if you, obviously, in the simplest form, you see the suit the girl's wearing, whatever, you touch the screen, and Alexa will deliver it. That's a kind of obvious one, but it's going to be much more nuanced than that. So who's to blame? I like to boil things down in really simple terms. I have a simple brain. Who is to blame for all this? Is there one person we can blame? Well, I know you want to say Trump again, don't you? I know. It's not. It's just one below Trump. It's God. What I mean by that is God, this. You have to pretend this is not God, the great overlord of data, changed everything. It really did. I mean, I try and be a little bit funny, but it's true. This thing arrived at exactly the same time as the crash. So it was 2008. I don't know how. So the phone turned into a smartphone about the same time as the crash. Almost, depending on where you are in the world, almost to the month. It was biblical. We were sitting there, weren't we? We were sitting at home. Oh, God, I don't know what's happening. I don't trust the banks, politicians, and big business. I don't know who to trust anymore. Suddenly, the heavens opened. And God's hand came down. Yes, I'm God. What? Here you are, my son. What is it? What is it? It's a piece of black glass, my child. Yes. What does it do? It answers any question. Anything? Yes. Yes, my child. I can't do the God voice. Yes, my child. I can ask it, like, how tall that actor is I'm watching on television. This is the truth. Yes, every stupid thing, the sum of all human knowledge, sits here on your smartphone. So when you reach out and touch that little round button at the bottom of your iPhone, other brands are available. But only one, really. You are reaching out and touching God's finger like Adam. Genuinely, I make it entertaining, but think about it. At exactly the same time as the crash, we suddenly have a device that we can look at the entire universe. And now you're wondering why all your kids aren't looking at you at mealtime when you're just telling them off. It's incredible. They're looking into the universe. So now look back to the high street and look how dull it looks. Because the universe is in our pocket. It's changed everything. So let me explain. Once upon a time, this is my most technical graph today. I know some of you won't understand it. I know. Once upon a time, we used to, if you wanted stuff, you had to go and get stuff. It was really simple. We knew you better go out and get the stuff. That's what we did. In fact, your grandchildren will say, Granddad, Grandma. I don't know why they've got funny voices like that, but they just have. Tell us again how you used to get stuff. Well, we'd get in the car, and we'd park the car, and we'd pick up a truck. How did you get... Well, it's a giant metal thing, and you have to put a coin in. You have to put a little coin to get the bloody thing out of the thing. And then you have to go in the warehouse. Well, where was the stuff? Oh, it's all over the warehouse. It's up and down. You have to search for it. And then you go up and you put the stuff in the trolley. You get the picture. You take it out of the trolley. You put it on the thing. You put it in the thing. You get it into the gun again. For Christ's sake! It looks embarrassing now, doesn't it? And what's happened since God, thank you, God, He reached out, He gave us this. Now, stuff comes to us. It's so simple, isn't it? You learned something. The problem is, for retail, for brands, that we've got everything. It's just true. I could pick any one of you at random. You, sir, with the lady's hat on. I know you can't get your jacket in the wardrobe tonight because it's too tight. I know that for a fact. And at the bottom of your wardrobe, there are too many bloody shoes. I know this for a fact. And I've been round his house to check. Of course I have. And it's not just clothes, is it? It's the bar, it's all that other crap. It's that you go to the bathroom cabinet to get a toothpaste and it falls all over the bloody place, doesn't it? Because we've all got enough stuff. It's pretty simple. So the question is, in this post-stuff era where we've got everything. What is the new currency? What is it all about? What are retailers about? What are brands for? And I say it's feel. It's feel. It's about how you feel. And we're watching this. We're entering that feel economy. Let me just explain another graph now. A list. We're moving from a function economy where we sort of needed stuff. And we'd go out and get stuff. And we used supermarkets. And we looked at product benefits. And we went for promotions and value. And voice can deliver that stuff. Brilliant. But the new era, we're seeing it now, is it's much more markets, community spaces, product ethics, not just their benefits. We just need to know what their politics are, what they're thinking before we sign up to any product. And it's not promo, it's FOMO. We don't want to miss out on anything. We have a fear of missing out. That's the thing, that's the new landscape. Sorry, let me just say, and values, not value. And voice stage 2, which is what I kind of touched on at the beginning. Voice stage 1 is just bringing you stuff. And she's quite lovely, little Alexa, thank you. She's very sweet. Voice stage 2 is she's listening in and she's understanding your mood. She's advising you. If you have a row with your husband, she can give you advice. She is listening in. She understands your emotions, whether you need a holiday or a massage or a break. That is all happening. That's stage 2. And we're seeing it right now. We're seeing, the Gillette ad. You must have watched all of that, the whole Gillette ad with nothing. At no point did this ad tell you how good it was as a shave. We're way beyond that. We believe that they can do the shaving thing. We now want to know what their politics are and how they stand as a brand. And the other one in the UK, you've already seen it, it's like in Iceland. And they had this whole thing on palm oil and an animated cartoon, like Disney treating us like kids, telling us about palm oil use and how bad it is. What was the most evil thing of 2018? And I know you want to say Trump again, don't you? I know you do. Trump, God. No, the most evil thing of 2018 was plastic straws. It just was. It just was the worst thing you could... Oh, my God! Look! 1 minute we were just eating plastic straws. There was no problem at all. Everything's fun. Happy? Are you happy? Yes, I'm happy. Suddenly, you are the devil because you dared have a plastic straw. Now, this is quite funny, but it's very serious. If you're in the world of brands and business, you have to understand that this virtue signaling is the future. Brands want to get into our hearts. It's about how we feel. They know we've got enough stuff. They want to get into our hearts. How do they do that? I just saw this the other day. I thought I'd show you it. No big deal. I'm walking around Westfield Shopping Centre, big shopping centre in the middle of London, and suddenly there's this water section with free water. What, free? Yes, it's free. Free water. With Virgin named all over it. So you just feel good about it. It wasn't near a Virgin store. There wasn't a Virgin anything nearby. It was just Virgin saying, yeah, we're the good people. Yeah, those other people, they're bad. We're the good ones, you see, stick with us. It's very interesting. And so what's become of all this is, I just wanted to, another warning really. It's a warning to you if you have a small business or an enormous business. Look at these giant behemoths, the giant behemoths of the digital age. Apple and, the biggest company, the richest company, the cleverest man, the richest man, all of those, that bundle of power that we obey right now, that power that sits out there, can all come tumbling down very, very quickly if we find out there's one little... Facebook had a little hiccup, didn't it? Oh, can we get over that? Maybe that's all fine now. So keep it still. But it can all come tumbling down. So there's this new word that sits on the horizon. It's called fragility. Fragility. You may think things are great. You've got a fantastic business selling plastic straws. We're rocking it on the straw front. No one can touch us. And you can see how it can all change literally by Tuesday morning. This is the new landscape we live in. So, back to the hard questions. I have no idea timing, because I've got 2.5 hours to talk to you guys. And I want to use every minute. So look, if we don't need stuff, what are shops for? And it's kind of lovely. I'm watching all this stuff happen. Well, they're brand playgrounds. They're not buying stuff. They're brand playgrounds now. They're places you go out and learn things and have a bit of fun. And here's a few. Let me take you on a little trip. Brand new in the center of New York, opened about November last year. 7,000 square meters of Nike flagship. It's incredible. It's the innovation, house of innovation. And you walk in, something like that. I can't sustain it, but you walk in, there's this dirty great thing spinning in the sky. Oh my God. You've clearly been abducted by an alien spacecraft. It's, oh my God, this is fantastic. It's like, oh, wow. It's just all happening. It's 5 floors of this, whatever it is. And then you go at the bar at the mid, as you go in, there's this bar, the lab. And it's, oh, humans on this space. Hello, hello, hi. How can we help you, sir? Well, I was just looking at what sort of product would you like? I mean, what do you need the sneakers for? Well, just going to work, really. You know, just getting to the tube and the subway. I mean, nothing major. Well, that's not a problem. We can build that shoe for you. We can make that shoe personally for you, like God reaching out. It's lovely. They just touch it. Oh, thank you, Nike. Thank you, it's me. I felt so happy. Can I have a little stripe down the logo? Just a little. Of course you can, my child. $200. It's beautiful, thank you. And the other, just a handful, because they've only given me half an hour, a handful of other examples. Mattress. Is there anyone in the world of mattress retail? It's the most boring retail on the planet. You used to walk around a warehouse full of squishy things. And you go, yeah, I like that, I don't like that. That one looks good, but it's going to be covered in a sheet. I don't know. Well, get on it. I don't know, whatever. And it's just weird. And with these huge warehouses, a room as big as this, it's full of mattresses. It's so boring. And then Casper come along, talk about disruption, and they say, we're not going to do it like that. We're an online brand, and we're going to come to you with different. We're going to create a little place where people in the heart of Manhattan can have a 15-minute nap. That's true. They created a dreamery, and you just go in and lie on a mattress in the middle of it. Sorry. And then another one of Stanley's brands. Look, Starbucks. Starbucks opened this. I was there just before, was it just before Christmas? I was there for the opening day. This is a coffee shop. This is 23,000 square feet, which is 2,500 square meter coffee shop. It's a day out. It's a coffee shop. It's a day out. I mean, it's just enormous. Look, you can see the roasteries and the thing, and you wander around. Oh my God, I never knew coffee could be so much fun. It's a playground. You get sucked into it. This is where the money's being spent now, to connect with you emotionally. They don't care about selling you coffee. They want to get into your bloodstream, and they're doing it. And there's lots of other examples, a little bit more of a pedestrian example. The Dyson store. Are you aware of the Dyson stores? Do you have one? No, I'll tell you about it anyway. You don't answer. This is like a really rude dinner party where you are not contributing, frankly. Anyway, so Dyson, look, you walk in and it's not a shop. It's a playground. It's like a museum. And you walk around and you see how it's all being made. And they design the thing. And they put the motor in the handle. It's genius. I can't believe it. I really want one. How much are they? $500. Oh my God, I love it so much. This is where we're heading. And look, that you'd see it being tested and you just slowly fall in love. Oh my God, I can't believe I want a hairdryer so badly. And then you get to the section downstairs, which is the vacuum cleaner section. Well, how do we do vacuum? How can we? This is a lesson. I'm trying to tell you stuff that's a lesson for all of you. There's ways of making things entertaining and engaging. So what do they do in the vacuum cleaner section? They have a wall of dirt. They have little jars of muck. So you could go, can I? Yes, you can, my child. Am I allowed to do? Yes, you can. What, a soot? Yes. Oh, how much is it? $500. I mean, it's fantastic. And I just quickly wanted to show you this because I love this. This is a couple of years old now. But I just think it's genius. So Jack Daniels did a pop-up, and it's a roadshow. And it's moving around the US now, probably. It came to New York, in the middle of Manhattan. Did you see this, Stanley? It was fantastic. Right? It was just so good. Right in the middle of Fifth Avenue. And you say, well, what could they do? They could do tastings, couldn't they? They could show you it being made on a little screen. And then you could taste it. And then no! They reached out and they took the whole village, the town of Lynchburg, and they dropped it in the heart of Manhattan. So you walk in, and there's the tasting bar, and there's a hat shop, and there's the tastings, and there's the bakery, and there's a barber shop, and there's a band playing, and in the corner there's a man painting barrels. And you go out, and oh my God, it's the original barrel. It's the man who makes the barrels. He's looking to do. Excuse me, is it possible to have my name on the barrel? Yes, of course, it's $200. And you walk out with a bloody barrel under your arm. It's genius. Look, genuinely. And they've even got a travel agent to take you there if you want to have a weekend break. And if you can't afford that, you can go virtually. You get a little bit of VR. It's genius. And then they wrap it up, put it on the back of a truck, and they're gone to the next city. Why am I telling you this? I've got to remember to tell you why I'm telling you. Because this is the future of brands. We don't want shops selling us stuff, but brands are going to have to reach out and touch us emotionally. So that's what the high street's for, having fun, engaging us, taking funny spaces and doing interesting things that happen, that ignite things in our brain. Not just selling stuff. They don't care. They don't care whether you buy any bloody Jack Daniels or not. It's nothing to do with that. That's the trick. It's not about stuff anymore. Have I made myself clear? Look, another example. BrewDog, hugely successful brewer of craft ale, came from Glasgow. About the same, this is about 6-7 years ago, they sort of started up. I mean, it's really no time at all. I remember them being launched. And now they're so successful globally, that's a visual, they've opened a hotel and brewery in Columbus, Ohio. It's open now. It opened like a couple of weeks ago. Look at it. It's all about the beer. Because that's fun, isn't it? That's nice. Who wouldn't want to go to a hotel that's all about beer? And look, in the bedroom, you can watch them brewing it. This is open now. It's brilliant. This is a brand. They don't care. They're not worried about making money, selling you a stupid room for the night. This is about getting into your hearts. And the PR value on this alone is just ignited. Everyone's talking about, have you seen that? Have you seen that brewery? They've got a hotel. It's really nice. It's really cool. Because we're the center of the universe now. We want all that stuff. And guess what? There's even beer in the shower. It's true. It's brilliant. I love stuff like that. And just following the, I don't know why I'm walking, so I'm worn out. Just following the beer theme, this opened a week ago on Charing Cross Road in the heart of London. New Balance, again, trainers. I love pausing and listening to you lot cough. The New Balance have opened a pub. A training shoe brand, a sneaker brand has opened a pub whereby, because they get it. So the brand positioning isn't Nike. New Balance they're going for the sort of all-rounder. The guy and the girl who want to do the London Marathon, which is coming up, hence they opened the pub. They want to do the marathon, but they don't want to do all these weird drinks and stuff and funny diet. They want to have a beer at the end. So you can do your marathon, you can do your practice runs, you can have a little device that tells you how far you've run, and you can exchange the miles you ran for beer. Isn't that lovely? It's smart, you see. Brands thinking smart stuff. It's about ideas, and ideas are free. I just want to put one little word in for another thing, because it's very easy. People like me, people like all the speakers you want, it's very easy to talk about the big companies. You go, oh my God, what Nike and Adidas and H&M and all of those big companies. That's really interesting. It's good. But there's the other side. On the hill behind us, there's what I call the digital artisans. And these are little guys and girls who make things again. And they've now got a global audience. They've now got a global shop window. And I've picked one picture. There she is. This is Bex Walker. Bex Walker has a name, and she's a little East End girl. She's a single mum, and she created these breakfasts in a jar, in a used jam jar. She puts a little healthy breakfast, and she's selling nationwide, at least. Little girl in a bedroom, fantastically disruptive, disrupting the market, and all the big brands are scared, aren't they? Because these little girls can come along like that and change things overnight, and I love that about the landscape we're living in at the moment. It isn't just the big companies, it's the little independents. But anyway, no, the feel economy, to sum up, the feel economy is, funnily enough, because I listened to your briefing session, it's about convergence. Of course it is. We're seeing it now. We're seeing the convergence of online and offline, because it's just about brands now. It's about brands connecting to you emotionally. And that creates brand playgrounds. That's what shops have morphed into, places where we can go and have a bit of fun. There's also the convergence of content. Do you remember what I talked about? The content that Amazon are planning to seduce you with now. All of that content merging with advertising, so you don't actually know what the difference is. And that's coming our way very soon. So convergence is absolutely the title of this session, because it's about brand playgrounds. It's about the digital artisan. Don't forget that. That little girl and that little guy on the edge of town doing innovative things. And then finally, I'd say the future is about God, G-O-D, great overlord of data, getting personal, thinking about you personally. This algorithm thing, I had a chat with someone at lunchtime, and it's kind of obvious. When I get my train in the morning, now, when I book my train for the weekend, a little message comes up and says, don't forget to charge your phone and your train is on time. And I thought, oh, lovely, that's nice, isn't it? But there's no one in head office who gives a shit, to my legislation, who gives a damn about me. That's the thing, you see, that's just the algorithm. The algorithm can love us a little bit, and that's very important. You see how it works? There's no one sitting in reception going, can you send Howard a text, because I think he's got a train this afternoon. No, they're not doing that, but the algorithm can do all that and will manipulate you and deliver things you can't even conceive of yet. So God gets personal. And I'd say in all of this nonsense, I really believe this. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to sit on the edge of the I don't know why. I'm just going to sit down and whisper, because I'm sick of shouting at you. You're not listening anymore. And check out the socks. Yes, they are meant to be like that. Look, I'm really serious when I say this, because it's ever so easy to talk about AI and robotics and artificial intelligence and machine learning and be scared about where this is all heading. But the truth is, there's always a good side to this. There's a really good side. So I believe our lives are going to be fantastically lubricated by AI knowing who you are. There's no more anonymity, remember, the death of anonymity. So it knows who you are, what your preferences are, and it will sculpt and lubricate your life. But there's no one in charge of that. That's just happening. That'll be good. But the outcome of that will actually be that the sense of human touch, let me go to my words, the sense of human touch, that feeling of actually connecting with another human being will be more powerful than ever. The currency that human contact will have will be more important and more significant in the future than it is today. That's how I'd see it. So I would say, finally, follow me on Twitter, because I need all you to follow me. I need the numbers. Thank you so much for listening.